I'm out here in my new creek walking kicks, knowing that these things gonna last us at least 3 years, maybe longer. These things are solid. About to get these things dirty today though. I know you're looking at something that we normally see all the time about this time of year. Looks like it hasn't rained cats and dogs in about a month. I mean, it's rained, but it hasn't like really moved things around. But I just came across something that I never like seeing. And you know they came out looking. This is probably from yesterday, Friday. How do people have such light footsteps, man? Look at mine. Look at the angle. Look at how I'm forced into this thing. But when other people step in this soft soil, it's almost like they're allowed to just float on top. Weird. What's up with people though? Just grabbing a glimpse. There's always a long way to cover. I'm not talking about miles, I'm talking about kicking things around. I'm mostly going to be kicking things around in the water from now on. Because I feel deep down inside that we miss a lot in the water, especially in the summertime when it's covered in silt. You know, you got to move it around. Got to stop being lazy. I know that looks like a giant spear tip, but it's just a granite rock. Crap, y'all draws. Yeah. It would have been a spear tip if it was Missouri. Last time I was out here was back in early March, first week of March. I've had a couple of monumental rainstorms since then. A couple of flood events, but I chose to go other places. Now look how much harder it is to get around. Man, you guys crazy. I thought I saw one over here. It's wide. It looks like it's got some kind of napping on it. Can't get over there though. There's always got to be a way around. We always find a way. Man, I'll be going slow today. It's already like 1 o'clock. Let's say it's only 1 o'clock. 7.5 hours. I need to pay closer attention. I gotta slow my roll. I do. Like I used to a long time ago. Ain't nothing like taking my time. Well, there's a couple of things I gotta take a look at. Good thing is when I got past that threshold behind us, I didn't see any brand new footprints. Most everything out here is going to be white. But I found a couple heartbreakers last time I came out here. Hold on. Saw a white edge on something. It's nothing. A lot of Daltons in this creek. Let's not say, well, let's go ahead and leave it at that. A lot. We just haven't found them yet, guys. Transitional paleo. Ooh, imagine if that was intact. I think I'll throw this up in the woods so we can find it a lot later. Look at this eyes. Look, it's me. Well, not Matthews. Just saying, like, bodybuilder. Look at that. Weightlifter. Cool. Hey, it's a different language. Yeah, I'm gonna toss this thing up in the woods. Imagine finding this thing if it stays intact with the image and all. I'm still waiting on those pieces out here and all these places. Come out and find a piece of soapstone with a nature scene on it or something. Dang, that took forever. I knew there had to be something up in here. Sticks out like a perfect thumb, like a beautiful large tree of life. Surprised I didn't see it earlier. Probably because my mind chose to think it was a piece of bark. Don't find Native American pottery out here that often, but when I do, it's a blessing for real. I know it's tiny, tiny, tiny. It's a gray piece too. Look at that. Looks like cement, concrete. Never found one this light before out here. Usually they're darker, the darker clay material. This is not going to be the only thing we're going to recover today. Good eye. About dang time. Think I got one. Sticks out like a perfect thumb. I see napping on it. Probably just a small little busted point. Some of the time it helps when you give it some time, that is. I mean, started up in here. This stinger is right on the edge too. I know you're going to agree. You're going to say that is one, but you know, some of the time we find these things broken. It's all right if it is. At least we're finding something up here. Oh, it is intact. It's intact. It's a baby Georgia boy style one. Yeah, this could be a baby Dalton. About dang time. Well, let's not say it negatively like that. Because I found one. I found 3 back in March out here. 2 different occasions when I was out here cleaning. It's a tiny one. Tiny little Dalton here. It could just be, you know, not Daltonish, but it's got that little curve on the bottom. Told you that little piece of pottery was not going to be the only thing we're going to find and recover today. Thank you for this recovery, Ancient Ones. I'm always looking. Oh, that could be a piece of the pot. It's got a curve on it. Probably just a rock. Yeah, it's just a rock. Okay, cool. Good eye, good eye. I think I just found another one. Another piece of the pot. Thought it was a piece of brick and then a fly landed on it. Made me take a closer look at it. I picked it up, realized it was flat. Another ancient piece of pottery. Now I have a red one for today. Look at that. Looks like a shard of brick. Look at it. It's got that curve on it though. Weird. Another one. Now we're up to red and gray. Did you know about that? Never found a red one out here before. I know everything looks like something. It's like the 10th one that looked like a paleo piece out here, and it's nothing but a... They're still making them though, guys. I'm telling you. They know what we're looking for. And I think that they create this as an image. And it's created within our mind. We see the paleo piece at an angle with the color, shade, the dampness versus the dry, the silt. We see that quad at that angle. Now the winds are picking up considerably, go figure, right when I'm saying this. So they are out here. We're the ones who are recording it with our eyes. We see it for what it is. But truth is told once we pick it up. That's the 5th one so far today. That looks like exactly what we're looking for. Look at that, man, dang it. Look at that quad right there, man. Boy. Just don't step on it. I know, tell me about it. Time to get excited. Wonder how many real pieces versus optical illusions we're going to find up in here. We got to be at the right angle to see everything that's meant to be seen, and to recover the ones that are meant to be recovered, either on video, in the pocket, or just as an illusion. They will be here. See, man, look at this stuff. It looks like bark, looks like petrified wood, man. Beautiful orange color. I found a couple of points made in this material out here before. Look how beautiful that is, though. can never tell anymore. What a nice material. Can't keep every single rock that we pick up. I bet that is a base of a preformed Dalton. They just never made it. But I found a few things of interest. Cool little rock here. It's just a rock, but it's a cool geometry. Found another finger pointer rock. You want to say what direction was it pointing into? Then I found this thing right here. Thought it could have been some kind of knife blade or whatever. It's not. And then I found this little thing. This could be one of their little tools, so they can do the micro napping on the ancient pieces, because it definitely will take something this small and this accurate, this pointy, to create such flawless napping, the micro napping, if it ever focus. Look at that thing right there. That could have been a tool right here to create the serrations in the ancient pieces. I guess I'll collect it, because I've never seen anything like this out here. What else? This is where it starts to get weird out here. I don't mean by the feeling, I'm talking about the further we go, the less we find. But it's also monumental gravel bars, which I don't understand. Yeah, I found a few pieces out here before, but the most ancient pieces have been recovered out here. Well, some of them, that is. Which I don't understand. And we got some monumental gravel bars up here too, you know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm going to try to force myself to find what we can ever find out here today in this part. It's only 2:30, but I don't think I'll be spending 6 hours out in a place like this. Who knows? I might be forced to if we want to find it. Let's get to looking. But more importantly, let's get to seeing it and recovering it for real. There's a cool little spot to rake out. Probably not. It's where the water gets pushed underneath, whipping things around, shooting it out like a cannon. Got the best and the worst gravel bar in the entire creek. Well, it's the best one because it's one of the largest. It's on a slope. But it's the worst one because I've never ever found anything in it. Ever. Maybe it might be different today. We're about to find out. Crazy. Can't believe I stepped all around this thing right here when I zipped through here really slowly and never even noticed it. Yeah, I covered a long distance all the way around there. Haven't found a dang thing. Trying to go as slow as possible. Well, the only thing I did find was this. Hold on. It's in my pocket. Road reflector. You know, the warning ones that tell you to pay attention and slow down on the road. Even when you run over it. You got to slow down and pay attention to things. No, it's not a paleo piece. I think it's a piece of pottery. Is it? No, it's a piece of bark, dang it. was a piece of pottery. Look how thin that thing is. What the heck? This thing is cracker thin, man. Look at that. Lighter than a sheet of paper. What you know about that? Look how thin that thing is. Probably was a cup. One of the little lightweight bowls. Another piece of pottery for today. You think I found something? Kind of. Guess I'll add it to the pocket. Hold on, I'm looking at a couple things that I found. I love finding this kind of rock right here though. Look, it's got different designs on like a road map. This is one of the better ones out here that I found so far. Look, it's got the X. Very nice. Any way you look at it, it's something. It's what nature does. Natives didn't carve that thing. I find this stuff out here all the time. Yeah. Found this thing too. Thought it might have been some kind of petrified bone. It's just a rock. Cool. But then this thing here tells me that some things just don't get moved around. And I just finished that video from back in March, remembering that I picked this thing up. Little perfect circle. And I was kicking myself. I was like, why didn't you keep that thing in the first place? It's not going to be out there anymore. Well, 3 months later, and guess what? Of course it's still here. Means it's going into the stash. Beautiful. Dang, bro, would you look at that? They piled a gravel bar probably about 5 feet high over there. Wonder what they got over there in that one. Never seen that one out there before. Maybe I have. Maybe they just switched things up a little bit like they've been doing out here. This is crazy. It's so easy to walk through here now. Gotta be quiet. There's kids up on the balcony. They can barely see me. I can barely see them. It's weird. Adults don't see us, but kids do. And they like to scream, but yeah, I'm trying to be quiet out here. So much for kicking around out here. I know you can hear them. Maybe they don't see us. They're on a trampoline, I think. But get a load of this. I think I might have found one. I bet it's just a busted piece of quartz. I was coming over here, man. Trying to get a closer look at everything because I know if it's not downstream, it's got to be caught up somewhere, right? And then I saw something right there. I bet it's just a busted piece of quartz. But I see micronapping on something. No, crap. Well, dang it. I think it is one. Yeah, it's one. It's just completely shattered. Top is busted. And the side is busted off completely. The right side is complete. But you know what? The more I look at it, the more I realize it's just created by nature, man. You're going to say you're wrong because it's got that bevel to it. It's got that curve to it. They try to make one off a flake. But who tried to make it? Nature banging against these rocks? Or mankind a couple thousand years ago? Man, I thought we had one. Man, I can't tell someone's been out here before. I mean, recently. Because there's something over here that is definitely something that we would do. The heck is this thing? Cool. Still going slow. It's about 5 o'clock. I'm almost at the turnaround spot. Don't know where I'm going to be going after this. Probably just further downstream and just dream a little bit. What could be down there later, I don't know. At least I know it's still coming from somewhere. And that there's still something around. Found this over here by the bank. The deer must have kicked it up. It was flipped over with dirt on top of it. Fresh sand. A busted blade. Looks like a round base Mora Mountain. What a shame. Would have been a nice find at this hour. But it still is. Would have been nicer if it was intact. Of course I'm still out here looking. It's barely 7 o'clock. We still got like an hour and 45 minutes. Nothing in this one. But for real though, legit. Didn't think I've ever seen something like this right here. Check out that balance. That makes me worried that we have missed quite a bit in the past month or two. 8 o'clock, about dang time. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. I've been bending over all day looking at a bunch of rocks. I think I found one. It looks like a piece of glass is right behind me. Looks like a deer might have knocked it loose again. Let's hope it's intact. If it is what I think it is. Just going to pull it. Oh yeah, it's intact. What kind of point is this? About dang time. Why do they either do this in the beginning or the end? I had to wait all day for this. Would you look at that thing? Welcome to GA. This is what we get for our hard work. One at the end. Well, you're going to say you found that white one earlier and a few brokes. And another fully intact one. Look at the base on that thing. About dang time. Thank you, Ancient Ones, for keeping us out here all day. Thank you for helping me go slow. And first and foremost, thank you for helping us keep on going. Beautiful. Got time enough to look around a little bit more to find a couple more. But the one I have in my hand, I'll tell you something though. All I want to know is where's the rest of it at? Man, you guys ain't fair with this hobby. This thing would have been gargantuan, at least a 4-incher. How can we never find these things fully intact, especially the large ones? If that's the tip, the entire bottom's missing. Man, the tip is still there. What a crying shame, man. Oh well. I guess I'm looking for the bottom. Of course I'm still out of here. Ran across this bad boy right here. We don't have a pressure washer though, but we're going to be able to see whatever's out here. Was hoping there was going to be a large one sitting right up in here, man. But I found something of interest. Get a load of this little rock here. I thought it was a piece of metal that was just rusted away. It's a rock, but it's got a hole in it. Would you look at that? I can't tell if that's drilled or punctured. Never found anything like this before. It's a rock, not a piece of metal. It's the same kind of quartzite stuff with the mica in it out here. I'm not about to do a strength test on this bad boy. It could have been part of a tool or something that they wore around their neck. Man. Very cool find. What else is going to be out here? It's almost dark. What the heck do I get myself into? Of course. Of course. Gotta start the night off on a high note. End the day off right. Gotta take a look at this thing in the water real quick. I'm at the turning point. Can't go any further than this. It's too late. This is where it all begins out here. Thought I saw something. The things I do to recover things. I'll tell you what. I don't even know if it's going to be ready. It takes time, you know. Just like them out here. It takes time to get it ready. And we got to give them time. And we got to slow down. But it's laying right on top. Well, it's a double-sided one, which means we can't take it. You can still make out things on it. Phone numbers, that kind of thing. Logos. Yeah. Something U.S. Senate. Well, it wasn't double-sided. Wasn't worked on both sides. Who knows what it'll look like. Let's go and get out of here. It's getting dark. And now further from the parking location. Reminds me of the good old days for that one ancient creek. Been a while since I had a day like this, but we had to wait a while to find the most important things. Very good collection out there. Some are quite strange. Others, we know exactly what they are. Got some garbage here. Not going to really call this guy garbage. Clean him up. Add him to the doll pile, I guess. Yeah. Save that for later. And then somebody cut off a corner to a license plate. Had the date on it. That's how they used to steal the numbers in a long time ago. Back in like the 90s. People used to cut out the numbers. I mean, like the registration thing. Sticker on it. That's what happened to my uncle one time. Yeah, but I got this little replacement right here, different kind of code. Almost fits, but we can make it fit, can't we? Yeah, got some weird looking stones right here. Laws of nature making hieroglyphics, petroglyphs, and these things right here. I just thought that they were cool. I mean, look at that. You got a rectangle right here. You got an angle line and horizontal lines. Laws of nature doing their thing. Look at that. Geometry. Gotta love the natural lines of nature. And of course, the fine circles too. Who knows? Maybe mankind did this like 5,000 years ago. About dang time I found another circle rock. We don't come across those that often. They could be something from ancient times. Just like these. I always see a lot of these little rocks like this out there in places like that. Who knows? This could have been a preformed knife. Look at that. Some kind of stabbing device. It's worked all the way down to the end. That's still, I don't know, man. I mean, I just collected that thing because it looked like it could have been some kind of nap tool. Pounded on. Bits and pieces taken out to make into some kind of stabbing device. Very cool. I mean, different perspectives, it looks like something right, and then others, it looks like something wrong. Or something went wrong. And these little ones like this. What if this was some kind of napping tool? You know, for the tiny nicks, you know. Fine-tuning that thing. Could have been some kind of tool. Immaculate. Perfect triangle. Don't find pottery out there that often. Look at that contrast. We got gray, red, and brown. Thin as a cracker. Looks like you can almost eat it. But I wouldn't recommend it. Who knows what might happen. You might be set back in time in a different way. And then you got these bad boys. Yeah, I got some kind of knife here. Probably a busted blade. What a shame on that one. Some kind of blade here. Worked all around. Looks like it could be broken right here, though. That's what you get with the quartz. Unfortunately. Then you got this little bad boy. Not a bad day at all. And then it just kept getting better later on. Well, take that back. We might have lost out on a couple of them. I mean, look at the bottom or the top of this thing right here, man. That's a shame, man. But then it got better. Suddenly, right when we were almost done, we finally found something that was intact. Well, the second thing that was intact. Look at that, Buster. Real nice. And then this thing right here, I don't know about this. I don't know what this thing is. It looks like a flake, but then it's got this hole right here. I have never, ever, ever come across any kind of rock like this before, or any kind of stone that has a hole in it. I mean, look at that. This thing could be like from paleo times, early archaic times. It could have been part of their tool belt or necklace. What if they wore this around their neck? And it's some kind of scraping tool. You know? Look at that. There's no way to tell if that's natural or not. Might be quite the find. It's the last thing that I collected out there today. Not too far from where this was found. Just a little bit further up that creek. Very cool indeed. Could very well be something. Thin enough to scrape something. But the thing is, I'm not about to do a strength test on this thing. Not at all. Quite the day indeed. Hope you liked it. I know I did. See you later.